Hey you guys, it's Yesenia from writermom.net, and I'm here this week with another video for you all about my self-publishing journey and how that's coming along. So this week I kind of have something that's a little bit more interesting. Today I'm going to be talking about why I unpublished my entire backlist. But first, as you can see, I kind of have a new setup going on today. I'm kind of excited about it. So I spent just a little bit of money, ordered a new tripod for this phone, and kind of switched things around a little bit. I'm kind of liking this a lot better, especially like the background I think looks a lot better. But I'd love to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts. But yeah, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. My 2-year-old is upstairs taking a nap, and let's see if we can do this thing. So today I'm talking about why I recently unpublished all 8 books of my backlist. So some of you have probably heard this before, but if you're new around here, basically I got started back New Year's Eve 2013 is when I first hit publish as an indie author and officially became an author. And so from 2013 through 2017 I published 8 books across 2 series in young adult contemporary romance. And over the years, none of these books ever took off or did amazing, but they did bring in a little bit of money, and they helped me get my feet wet in indie publishing and basically helped me grow a little bit of a fan base. So thanks to these books I was able to do all of that and kind of get started in my career. I wasn't where I wanted to be, but I was I learned how to self-publish. I started gaining a few fans, honing down my process, published several books and kind of got all of that down. And so these fans, the small amount of fans that I accumulated over the last few years kind of proved crucial this year when I launched a written to market series in the spring. And so they were a big help when I went through that launch. And a lot of these readers went and bought my new series. They fell in love with it, and then kind of helped get my books up there a little bit. And then more and more readers started reading them, downloading them, buying them, and I've seen a little bit more of a growth in my fan base as a result of that. So thanks to these 8 books in my backlist, like I said, I was actually able to start a little bit of fan base and not start from scratch when I launched that new series this year. So then why did I go and unpublish these books, right? That's a good question. That's really, I guess, the $1 million question today. These books, they used to make $600 to $1,000 a month at one point when they were I guess in their prime, doing their best. That's how much they were bringing in for me every month. But lately I've noticed that YA contemporary romance is really a hot genre. It's gotten really competitive, and then so as of probably at least 6 months to a year ago, maybe more, these books fell down in the charts a lot. So they weren't really visible anymore. They were in the 6-figure ranks. And this wasn't good. For a while AMS ads were kind of helping with this, but then even after a while those weren't helping anymore. I wasn't seeing any return on my investment no matter what I was trying. These books just weren't selling at all. Up until recently, they were only making about $100 a month between 8 books. If you think about it, that is not that much at all. So, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't really know what. Because like I said, these books had been making some money before, so I wasn't sure if I just needed to revamp them or something. And so I just knew they weren't pulling their weight, so I knew I had to do something. And then recently I finally got around to that after a few months of knowing I had to do something about this to get these books back up. I finally sat down and really looked at all the books closely, objectively, and figured out what I needed to do. And like I said, this genre that I'm writing in, which is, I love this genre. That's why I started writing in, is because this genre is like really my favorite, my ideal thing that I want to be writing in. And like I said, it's just gotten really competitive lately. And what I realized when I sat down to look at these books was that they just weren't written to market. So I kind of knew this already, because when I wrote these books, I either didn't know what writing to market was, or, I wasn't implementing it yet. So I wasn't, doing that. They were just written for love. They were written before I learned everything that I know now about story structure, writing craft, writing style, tropes, marketing, how to launch. Like, before I would kind of just hit publish and, yell about it on social media, send an email out maybe, and that was it. Like, I wasn't cross-promoting, I just wasn't doing much of anything. I was just hitting publish and that was it. So that was another reason that they never did like great, So at first I thought maybe, maybe these books just need a bit of a facelift. Maybe they just need new covers, new titles to kind of fit what's trending now. Maybe I just need to go back and polish the first few chapters. And so like I actually sat down and reread these books thinking, they probably just need a facelift, and I know maybe they'll never be like these amazing bestsellers, but if they can just pull like $1,000 a month all together between those 8 books, like I would be pretty happy with that. And so, I sat down and I started reading, and I was like, whoa, and not in a good way. And I kind of say that like I'm fine. I'm fine saying that about myself. Like, I'm not like, I'm not like being harsh on myself or anything. Like, I recognize these books for what they were. They were written and published for love, and before, like, I knew a lot of what I know today, and so like it's okay like that. I realized that these books were just not up to the level that I'm at today. Like, I've come so far since I wrote these books. My craft is better. Like, I know story structure now. My writing style is so many more times better. I know how to start a story in an engaging way, which is huge. Like, before it's like, let's just start here and kind of see where things go. And now it's like, okay, I know the beginning is important. I need to hook the reader. It needs to like be relevant to the story. That's kind of important. Just FYI, if you don't know that, your beginning is really, really important. Not to mention my covers and titles. Like, I had already revamped those one time, like the covers and the titles. But really, even now, they're just like, the titles and covers for my books now are just so much better than these. Like, these are pretty, these are nice, but like, they're not like, what I need for like to succeed in today's world, basically. And then another interesting thing that I found that I didn't quite remember, like, I knew these books had a tiny bit of steam in them and like a few curse words here and there, and I was just like, that's definitely not the same as like the completely clean and like cute YA romance books that I'm writing now. So I was like, these new readers that are coming into this new series that's a lot more popular, they're gonna go read these books and be like, this is a little bit steamy, or this has the, this word in it that I'm not loving. And so, I just knew like, that needs to be fixed. And I just didn't fit like this new tropey, clean, cute romance brand that I now have. And that I've decided to go in that direction, So that was another huge thing. Like, these books weren't tropey at all. Like, my new romances are really tropey and cute and clean. And my whole backlist just wasn't really following the tropes. So that was a huge weakness. My initial fan base, like I said, they weren't a huge bunch of readers, but it was like a small, loyal bunch. And they had fallen in love with these characters, and they had emailed me about it, and, they just raved about the people in the books that I wrote about. But the stories in general just weren't reaching their full potential, and I knew that. Like, that was so clear once I read these books. And so I was like, you know what, if I tried to like fix these books, it would be so much more effort, and I hate editing, and it just wouldn't be fun. I was like, really, it would be easier for me to just scrap them all together and just try again. You know, take these same characters that, you know, readers obviously love, and just focus on the tropes. Make these books a lot more tropey, write them to market, title and cover them to market, you know, all that jazz that I know how to do now. Launch them properly, use my connections, use newsletter swaps, do the slow release method that I've learned about. And I know I can do big things with these stories now, but really I just kind of like need to like start over from scratch. So that's why I unpublished all 8 books, which is kind of funny because I went from having like 10 books published under my name. You know, that's like, there's several prolific writers, but for the most part, like, you don't always come across a lot of authors who have published this many books. And so it was weird to go from being like a 10-book author to like almost a newbie again, you know, like only 2 books under my name that are published. But I'm actually like super excited for what's to come. I'm learning to release a lot faster now. I know how to market, I know how to launch, I know how to write to market. I've got a strong foothold in this genre now. And I know that like if I play my cards right, then and use all the knowledge that I've gained, then like I am just so excited for what's to come and what I can do. So I'm actually kind of excited because, again, I'm taking these characters that I already know, which is kind of like a big advantage, and I'm just gonna, you know, to market and figure out what tropes I want to use. So, and I already have some ideas about that, but that's basically what I'm gonna do next. So after I write this current written to market series, which will be done in the spring, I'm gonna get started on these and start publishing those like every 2 or 3 months, and really just start like, you know, leveling up. So I'm really excited, you know, because this is all going to be in the same genre, and so really it's just going to be, you know, leveling up my career a lot, because I'm going to be consistently releasing every 2 months in this genre with tropes, with written to market books, and, you know, with a growing fan base. And something else that I just need to say is, like, I can't believe how far I've come since 2013. It's been almost 5 years in a few more months. But really, you guys, if I can do this, so can you. Like, that's the biggest thing I've learned. Like, I've seen other people do it, and I was like, why can't I do it? And really, you guys, I'm nobody special. I just have like a little bit of a work ethic. I try to be consistent. I try to use my time wisely, you know, work smart, not hard. And, you know, like I said, if I can do it, so can you. If you need to pivot, then pivot. That's what I'm doing now. You know, I'm unpublishing all of these books, but it's so that I can, you know, 10x these books and what they were making, or more, you know. You don't even know it's possible if you just kind of try and believe yourself and actually do the work. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them below. If you're on YouTube, leave them in the comments, or if you're on the blog, again, the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about this. If you're new to self-publishing, or if you have any questions about what I talked about today, if there's any kind of topic that you would like for me to talk about in the future, again, I would love to know. Just let me know in the comments. And I encourage you, if you haven't subscribed yet on YouTube, make sure you do that so that you don't miss any future videos. If you thought this video was awesome, hit the like button. And go to writermom.net and sign up on the homepage for my Saturday morning newsletters. You'll get this free publishing checklist. That is how I have come to learn how to publish consistently, and you can too. And on Saturdays, I send out this awesome newsletter with inspirational quotes, what I'm reading, what I'm learning, all of my best tips on business and productivity, and it's only shared on there. So again, writermom.net, and you'll see the sign up right there on the homepage. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.